What's going on? Shit, I'm in a big ass van. Still spring cleaning. Look at that. Bags filled up to the brim. Trying to get this stuff out of this damn garage. Too much stuff in there. But hey, so Earl Spence comes out and he does a little interview. And he speaks on a couple of different topics. And one of the things he was speaking on was on, him signing with Al Haymon. And I've talked about that previously, but since he brought it up, I thought it was something that, we should touch on again. And just, him talking about how it was such a, it was obviously, it was clearly the right decision for him to do it. And he put himself into a space where, if he wanted to retire, clearly, he can retire right now and be good. He doesn't have to fight another day in his life. And he was talking about on this one basically how everything was kind of set up. And thank God for him having somebody like his father, man. Somebody who's seeing the big picture and understanding it and making a smart and right decision. So this is how Bob Arum had it set up. Bob Arum was offering him like a lot of money up front. Because that's Bob Arum's thing. He'll offer you a lot of money up front. But this is the catch though. Over time, you had to pay that money back. He's giving you a large sums of money, but over time you have to pay that money back. So, on the front end, it looks all nice, kind of like those messed up, record deals where you see all this upfront money and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I got this mil, I got this 2 mil or this 3 mil, and you're not understanding that, hey, they're trying to take extra points off your records and this and that, and they'll, that $2 million they might give you up front, they might end up getting 6 million or 8 or 10 million out the back end off just that 2 mil they gave you. With the way they have it set up that you have to pay them back. That's why somebody like Wyclef, when they did the thing with the Fugees, they didn't take a whole bunch of upfront money. I think they took like $100 grand, and they went and got the lower level, wherever producers that they could get or whatever, did the album with that, and didn't have all this shit, tons of money that they had to pay, in the back end, so they were good. And they had a good deal set up, so they were straight, But, back to Earl Spence, him was the same type of thing. It was a lot of his money put up front. But his dad was like, nah, we're not going to go with that. Because Al Haymon was a little money up front. He said, I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of money. I'm going to give you some money, but I'm going to make you straight. I'm going to make sure you're good. I'm going to make sure you have no issues, you have no problems. As you progress in your career, you'll get paid even more. And one of the big things he also said was, off the rip, he was like, yo, Al Haymon was talking about retirement before I even had my first fight. He said before I even, before my first fight, he was already talking about retirement and me being out of the sport. Getting ready for that, starting then. So he's been preparing for that almost 10 years ago. He's been preparing for basically his retirement. Making sure his money is invested correctly and things of that nature. And the thing is, I guess Al Haymon, they'll invest the money for you. They'll tell you, yo, do you want all your money up right now? Or do you want to be set up where you're good, for your future? And they'll take parts of your money and they'll help you invest your money for you. So instead of getting that, you getting a $10 million check or whatever, let's say you're supposed to get a $2 million check. Instead of you getting that $2 million check, then maybe they give you one. They give you 1.2, then they invest the rest of it. They invest the rest of it in different things. And over a long period of time, that adds up. That ends up adding up. And that's the route that he chose. Because the man actually, that's the difference between the two. Bob Arum wants to make money off of you. That's his whole focus. You're a commodity, and his job is to make as much money off of you as possible. And when he can't do that anymore, throw you out into the pasture. That's what he does. He looks at you strictly as an investment. Where Al Haymon, his state of mind is a little bit different. He's like, I'm going to make my money regardless. With everything we're going to do, I'm going to make my money. But I'm making sure you're good too. I don't need to take 80% of your pie, 70% of your pie, 90% of your pie. I'm good with just a small piece of your pie and a small piece of everybody else I'm working with's pie. Because once I get all those pieces, I'm straight. I got a big piece of the pie too. But I don't need a big, huge chunk of yours. I don't need to do you wrong. I don't need to grime you in any way. That's not how he does things. That's why you don't really see disgruntled people like that when it comes to someone like Al Haymon. He looks out for the best. When it comes to you, he's gonna look out for your best interest. In whatever the situation, if you're Martin, he's looking out for you. He's not looking out for Deontay Wilder in a situation like that. He's looking out for Martin in that situation. Martin, he can go to the UK. He can make $7 to $9 million fighting Anthony Joshua. We're gonna do that, even though for our business it might be better for Deontay Wilder to fight this dude in a unification and be unified. For Martin, what's best in his best interest is for him to go over there. And he still took care of Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder still made an ish load of money. He still made a boatload of money. You know what I mean? So that's how he does it. He's going to look out for you. While about Arum, his main focus, and a lot of these other promoters, their main focus is to squeeze out as much money as they can for you. And if they can grime you in every way, and we know how corrupt the game in boxing is, you know what I'm saying, how many fighters we've seen, you know, supposedly make millions of dollars and end up being broke. Guy's supposed to get $1 million check, only gets $100,000. Guy's supposed to get $3 million, only gets $2 million. You know, Zab Judah fought against Floyd Mayweather. They said Don King, it was either Don King or Bob Arum. I forget which one it was. I think it was Don King or Bob Arum, one or two, ended up jipping him $1.5 million. You don't have to worry about things like that when you work with Al Haymon. And he also talked about that. He said when it comes to a lot of the griminess and a lot of the corruption that goes on in boxing, he said I've been you know, sheltered from that. You know what I'm saying? I've never had to deal with any of that stuff. I see all these different fighters and I see the things that they have to go through, you know, the things that they went through. You know what I'm saying? And I've never had to go through any of that because, you know, Al Haymon, he makes sure I'm completely sheltered from that stuff. He makes sure that none of that stuff happens to me. You know, and because people always see these things too. Oh, this guy got offered this much. Oh, this guy offered that much. Oh, he should leave Alman. He should leave Alman. You don't know what's tied to all of that. You don't know what's tied to all of that. You know, Mike Tyson used to have bouts where he's supposed to get paid $32 million and he used to get $3 million for those fights. He used to get chipped heavy all the time. You know what I mean? All the time. You know? Don King probably got a good $400 to $500 million in his bank account that should have went to Mike Tyson. And that's how, you know, these guys roll when it comes to this. But when it comes to, you know, that man Al Haymon, you can hate him all you want to. You know, he looks out for the fight at the end of the day and to make sure they're good. And it's clearly as his career's going on, yeah, Earl Spence definitely made the right decision. You know, so shout out to him and also to his father, you know, should be thanked. You know, just having someone like that in your corner is major. It's real major because he might see things with experience in life that you yourself might not see, and help you in making the, you know, the right decisions when you think, you know, you should go this way. He's like, nah, don't go that way because I've gone in that direction before. You don't want to go there. Go over here. It's going to be a little bit longer road, but in the long run, you're going to be better off going over here. And that's what he did. So it is what it is. Earl Spence, we in the middle of this ish right now. Once it's over, you know, we can get back to this boxing ish. But until then, y'all be safe. See you on the next one.